Oscar Maximilian Jackman, the son of renowned actors Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, was thrust into the spotlight from an early age. Adopted by the Hollywood power couple, the now 24-year-old has grown up balancing life under the celebrity lens with his unique blend of American-Australian heritage. But who is Oscar beyond the fame of his famous parents? What kind of life has he carved out for himself after all these years? As Hugh Jackman's eldest child, Oscar's journey is filled with surprises, personal growth, and a life that goes far beyond his last name. What is he up to today? And when was the last time he was spotted on the camera? Keep watching to find out amazing information about Oscar Jackman. From adoption to reconnection. When Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness decided to adopt a baby boy almost 24 years ago, they knew they were embarking on a unique and deeply emotional journey. Oscar Maximilian Jackman, their first child, came into their lives from a rural American family under tragic circumstances. His biological mother, Amber Lanham, had been just 28 when she gave birth to him in California. Sadly, Amber passed away in 2005. However, Hugh and Deborah Lee always focused on giving Oscar a loving and stable home, and they succeeded in doing so. But like any child, Oscar was curious about his roots. When he turned 18, that curiosity led him on an emotional journey to reunite with his biological family. What followed was a momentous occasion in February 2018, when Oscar met his biological sisters, Olivia and Naomi, for the first time. The reunion took place in Vinton, Iowa, where the sisters had been raised by their aunt, Rochelle Lanham. Oscar, accompanied by Hugh, Deborah Lee, and his younger sister Ava, spent just half a day in Iowa, but it was enough to create memories that would last a lifetime. In an Instagram post following the reunion, Oscar poured his heart out, calling it the most important day of his life. He wrote, "I finally got to meet my biological family. Although I was only in Iowa for half a day, I felt that I got to know each of you personally. You are some of the kindest people I've ever met, and I promise I'm not just saying that." His biological sister Olivia responded with equal warmth, saying, "I feel like I've known you my whole life. Love you forever and always, little brother." Her words reflected a bond that seemed to have formed instantly, despite the years they had spent apart. Hugh and Deborah Lee, ever the supportive parents, were right there for their son during this special moment. Not only his mother passed away before this reunion, but his grandfather, Thomas Lanham, also passed on. 2 years prior to his death, Thomas had expressed regret in a 2016 interview with National Enquirer, saying he wished he could have met Oscar before it was too late. Unfortunately, he never got that opportunity, and Oscar, devastated by the loss, shared his grief in another emotional Instagram post. "My biological grandfather, who passed away last Saturday, I'm sorry I never got to meet you. I know I was never on your list of people to meet, but nonetheless, I love you. Rest in peace." In the comments, his sister Naomi offered comforting words, saying, "Grandpa would have loved to meet you, Oscar. You're part of the family no matter what." This sense of belonging, despite years of separation, must have been a balm for Oscar as he navigated this emotional chapter of his life. Through it all, Hugh and Deborah Lee have stood by Oscar with unwavering pride. A source close to the family revealed that the couple couldn't be prouder of the young man their son has become. Oscar's life has been a unique blend of privilege and personal discovery. Raised as the son of two of Hollywood's most beloved stars, he could have easily been caught up in the superficial trappings of fame. Instead, he's shown a deep respect for his past and a willingness to embrace all parts of his identity. Before we continue, let's get to know a little about his parents and why they opted for adoption. Keep watching to learn more surprising details about Oscar. A journey through film and theater. Hugh Michael Jackman has always been more than just an actor. His versatility as a performer, ranging from his iconic portrayal of Wolverine to his heartwarming Broadway performances, has earned him global recognition. Jackman's journey into stardom began in Sydney, New South Wales, where he was born to English parents Grace and Christopher Jackman. Growing up as the youngest of 5, he inherited a blend of Greek and Scottish heritage, adding a rich cultural layer to his already vibrant personality. Though Jackman initially pursued a communications degree at the University of Technology, Sydney, his heart was set on acting. After graduating, he studied drama at the prestigious Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts, a choice that would shape his future. In 1995, Jackman's first major break came when he starred in the American Broadcasting Corporation television prison drama Corelli. It was here that he not only honed his acting skills, but also met his future wife, Deborah Lee Furness. But it wasn't long before the stage called him. Jackman's love for theater led him to star in major musical productions in Australia, including Beauty and the Beast as Gaston and Sunset Boulevard as Joe Gillis. One of his most memorable performances came in 1998, when he starred as Curly in the Royal National Theatre's production of Oklahoma, a role that earned him critical praise and set the stage for what was to come. In 2000, Jackman took on the role that made him an A-lister in Hollywood, Wolverine. His portrayal of the clawed, brooding superhero in Bryan Singer's X-Men catapulted him to international fame, and he would go on to play Wolverine for nearly 2 decades. Though action roles defined much of his early career, Jackman's talent extends far beyond the superhero genre. He's shown in films like Kate and Leopold in 2001, The Prestige in 2006, and Australia in 2008. Perhaps one of his most notable film performances came in 2012, when he starred as Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. His powerful portrayal earned him his first Academy Award nomination and his first Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. Jackman is equally accomplished in theater, having won a Tony Award for his portrayal of Peter Allen in The Boy from Oz. He's also hosted the Tony Awards 4 times, earning an Emmy Award for one of his appearances. In 2009, Jackman took on the challenge of hosting the 81st Academy Awards, proving his skill not just as an actor, but as an all-around entertainer. When he's not performing, Jackman enjoys playing the piano, guitar, and golf. His talents, however, don't stop on stage or screen. As a multi-instrumentalist and passionate artist, Hugh Jackman continues to inspire fans worldwide with his commitment to his craft, constantly proving that he's one of the most dynamic performers of his generation. Off the screen, Jackman is a man who is committed to his family. Keep watching as we will look into his personal life and what led him to adopt Oscar. A love story that spanned decades. It all began in 1995 on the set of the Australian television series Corelli. Hugh Jackman, a fresh graduate from drama school, was about to meet his future wife, Deborah Lee Furness, who was already an established star. The moment their paths crossed, something clicked. Recalling their first meeting, Jackman shared with People in 2017, "Deb, she was a big star. I get picked up, and Deb is in the front seat of the car. I'll never forget. She took off her seatbelt, turned around, put out her hand, and said, 'Hi, I'm Deborah Lee Furness. Nice to meet you.' I remember thinking, I like this girl." Less than a year later, on April 11, 1996, the two tied the knot in a ceremony that would mark the beginning of what would become one of Hollywood's most enduring love stories. Their chemistry, visible both on and off screen, soon became the heart of a relationship admired by fans worldwide. As the years passed, Jackman and Furness were not shy about showing their love for each other. In April 2023, on their 27th wedding anniversary, Jackman took to Instagram to post a heartfelt message to his wife. "I love you so much. Together, we have created a beautiful family. And life, your laughter, your spirit, generosity, humor, cheekiness, courage, and loyalty are an incredible gift to me." It was a rare glimpse into the couple's deep bond, not just as partners but as a family. Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness always knew that adoption would be part of their family's story. So they made it a reality in May 2000 when they adopted their son, Oscar. Yet, their path to parenthood wasn't as straightforward as they might have imagined. Despite their deep desire to have children, the couple faced the painful experience of miscarriages and challenging rounds of in vitro fertilization treatments. However, life is unpredictable, and in September 2023, the couple made a surprising announcement. Jackman and Furness declared their separate decision in an exclusive statement to People. "We have been blessed to share almost 3 decades together as husband and wife in a wonderful, loving marriage," they said. "Our journey now is shifting, and we have decided to separate to pursue our individual growth." Despite the shock of their separation, they made their family the highest priority. Throughout their marriage, Jackman and Furness focused on raising Oscar and Ava. In a 2018 interview with People, Jackman spoke about how important it was for their children to understand their privileges. "My kids have so many advantages," he said, "and I want them to know that they have a responsibility to use those advantages to help others." He often emphasized how they lived a life that others could only dream of, reminding them of the blessings they had. Yet, despite their celebrity status, Jackman and Furness made sure to keep their children out of the public eye. They rarely shared photos of Oscar and Ava, and only occasionally brought them to public events. Furness, in particular, found parenthood to be a transformative experience. In a 2020 interview, she reflected on how her children made her see herself in a different light. "It's so interesting being a parent, and they've both made me smarter than I think I ever could have been on my own," she said. "But when you're a parent, you can't lie to them or yourself. They will shine a light on every one of your flaws. You've got to look at yourself." Now, with Oscar and Ava grown up, Jackman has embraced his role as a father in new ways. At a 2022 screening of his film The Son, which dealt with the sensitive subject of depression, Jackman revealed how open his children were about mental health. "It was very important that I talked to Oscar and Ava about what it was about, what it meant to me, and why I was doing it," he said. He added that after watching the movie, they had a long discussion about its themes, highlighting how comfortable their generation is with addressing mental health issues. "I'm really proud of them for the way they engaged with it," Jackman shared, a father proud not just of his children's accomplishments, but of their emotional intelligence. Keep watching as we are about to reveal interesting facts about Oscar. Growing up in the shadow of fame Oscar, Maximilian Jackman was born on May 15, 2000 in California, bringing a blend of diverse heritages with him. As the son of Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, Oscar carries a rich cultural background, being of African American, Hawaiian, Caucasian, Bosnian, and Cherokee descent. His parents have always taken steps to ensure he remains connected to his roots. Furness fondly recalls how, at 7 years old, Oscar discovered he was part Bosnian and proudly carried around a Croatian Bosnian cookbook, a small but meaningful way to celebrate his identity. Growing up as the child of a global superstar like Hugh Jackman came with its challenges. Hugh himself acknowledged the unique pressures Oscar faced. While Hugh enjoyed a relatively normal childhood, his fame meant that his children never had that same sense of anonymity. In a 2006 interview, he spoke about how Oscar was often referred to as Wolverine's son, a label that could be difficult to carry. Hugh contrasted this with his own upbringing, where his father's profession as an accountant, though respected, did not draw any special attention. As of 2024, Oscar is 24 years old, standing tall at 6 feet 2 inches and weighing about 125 pounds. Despite growing up in the public eye, Oscar has maintained a low profile. However, his presence at red carpet events alongside his parents hints at a close family bond. In March 2024, Oscar was seen during a rare outing with his father in New York City. The pair strolled through Manhattan, dressed casually and maintaining a low-key demeanor. It was a rare sight, as Oscar hadn't been publicly photographed with his father in years. One of his most notable public appearances occurred in 2009, when he stood by his father's side at Hugh Jackman's handprint and footprint ceremony at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. Despite the occasional spotlight, Oscar prefers to live away from the public gaze, allowing him to craft his own path in life, free from the overwhelming pressures of his father's fame. Oscar Maximilian Jackman proudly wears the traits of a Taurus. For astrology enthusiasts, this could hint at an honest, ambitious, and perhaps stubborn personality. Now 24, Oscar has grown up far away from the glare of his famous parents' careers, maintaining a life marked by privacy and close-knit relationships. Though he values his private life, some details have come to light, particularly regarding his romantic relationship with Grace Hingston Hurtado, the daughter of actors Sean Hingston and Brad Hurtado. The pair reportedly began dating in 2020, and according to Nine, Oscar even has a private Instagram account where he openly celebrates their love. On her birthday, Oscar posted a heartfelt tribute to Grace, calling her the love of my life, and sharing a sweet photo of them cozying up on a boat. Their bond seems to go beyond typical young love. with one source revealing to Women's Day that their shared experiences have strengthened their connection. Oscar loves that Grace is an Ozmerican and adopted, just like he is, the source shared, adding that they are planning to travel to Australia together as soon as possible. On the other hand, Grace also took to social media, proudly declaring her feelings for Oscar, calling him boyfriend of the year in a heartfelt post. The couple have been inseparable ever since, traveling the world together. From the sun-soaked beaches of the Turks and Caicos Islands to the serene woodlands of England, their adventures have brought them even closer. Again, source shared with Women's Day that Oscar and Grace are the perfect match. While only 24, they've already begun discussing their future, with topics like moving in together, marriage, and even children coming up in their conversations. They've found their forever person, the source added, emphasizing how cute and serious they are as a couple. Though young, they've been thinking about what lies ahead, and it seems like the families are already thrilled about it. However, what do their parent have to say about their affair? Keep watching to find out. Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, Oscar's parents, are fully supportive. A source close to the family revealed, Hugh and Deb are over the moon that Oscar has found love at such a young age. Hugh himself was just a few years older than Oscar when he met Deb, so it's no surprise they're so supportive of his relationship. The couple, who have openly shared their struggles to conceive, would be overjoyed to help guide Oscar and Grace if they ever decide to take that next big step. Hugh and Deb have been nudging them to finish their studies first, but they wouldn't mind being grandparents someday soon. Deborah Lee, in particular, is said to be dreaming of the day she becomes a grandmother. She already treats Grace like a daughter, a family friend shared. She buys her little gifts, like fluffy blankets, and no doubt she's imagining herself spoiling a grandchild in the future. The Jackmans and the Hingston Hurtados are also incredibly close. Just recently, Hugh gifted Grace's dad tickets to his Broadway show, The Music Man. Brad Hurtado shared the sweet moment on Instagram, posting, "The Jackmans invited us to attend the first public performance of The Music Man on Broadway last night. It's clear that both families are excited about the relationship and the future possibilities that lie ahead for Oscar and Grace." A supportive and proud family has marked Oscar's journey into adulthood. Despite the challenges of growing up in the public eye as the son of Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, Oscar has emerged as a grounded young man. A source close to the family told Women's Day that Oscar's parents couldn't be prouder of him. "He's grown into a young man with courage in his convictions," they shared. "He's faced emotional challenges that most people couldn't imagine." Oscar's upbringing, though different from most, has resulted in a well-adjusted and compassionate adult. His circle of friends holds him in high regard, and he is said to be a kind, thoughtful individual who has a deep sense of self despite the weight of his parents' fame. "It's everything Hugh and Deb ever hoped for him," the source added. Oscar's story is a testament to the strength of family bonds and the importance of navigating fame on one's own terms. What about his sister, who is also as private as he is? We've got amazing information about her too. Keep watching to satisfy your curiosity. A beautiful addition to the Jackman family. In 2005, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness's family grew in a heartwarming way with the arrival of their daughter, Ava Elliott, born on July 10. Both parents felt the joy of welcoming a second child deeply, especially Hugh, who, soon after bringing Ava home, shared his thoughts on fatherhood. "You're a little more relaxed," Jackman admitted, reflecting on how life shifted with two children. "It's a different dynamic having a girl, but both are wonderful. And I'm so blessed to have a beautiful boy and girl." As a father, Hugh couldn't help but feel protective over his new daughter. "I hold her and think, I don't want you to face anything bad ever in your life," he shared, expressing the tender emotions that many parents feel toward their children. Ava's arrival brought even more light into the couple's lives. Though Hugh Jackman is a familiar face on the big screen, he and Deb made sure to prioritize their children's upbringing. They were strict when it came to screen time, especially during the week. By 2011, Hugh explained his approach in an interview saying, "A buddy of mine has a rule that I installed. No screens during the week. No television, no computer, nothing like that." Jackman felt that children these days had limited time due to the demands of school and activities, so he wanted his kids to use their free moments wisely. In a candid 2020 interview, Deborah Lee opened up about how she and Hugh emphasized the importance of their children's cultural roots. "My daughter has a Mexican lineage, so we've been to Mexico," Furness shared. She explained how, as an adoptive mother, she was always mindful of the unique cultural background that each of her children carried. "What I'm very interested in is epigenetics," Furness revealed, reflecting on how her own upbringing influenced her parenting, while recognizing that her children's heritage played a part too. "It's like we have more players at the table," she said, describing how Ava and her brother brought their own ancestral stories into the family. For Furness, honoring that was crucial. "We completely embrace the ancestors and the extended family. They're family to us." Ava Elliott Jackman, now a young woman, continues to be cherished by her parents, who have always fostered a strong sense of identity and belonging within their family. Now in her teenage years, she stands at 5 feet 5 inches tall, approximately 165 centimeters, though that number could still change as she continues to grow. Born in the United States, Ava's biological background remains largely private. However, her life with her adoptive parents, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, has shaped her story. Hugh Jackman has always spoken openly about his love for his children, making it clear that biology plays no role in how he views them. In interviews, Jackman said that adopting Ava and her brother Oscar felt natural. "They are simply my children," he says, with no need to emphasize their adoption. Ava and her father share a strong bond, often photographed together during outings in New York City or enjoying simple family time. Ava, who has shown an interest in dance, has even invited her dad to attend her classes, although that didn't last forever. But by late 2019, Hugh shared that Ava had banned him from her dance lessons, and for a pretty amusing reason. After the success of The Greatest Showman, Hugh's celebrity status became a bit too much for Ava. "There were 60 girls surrounding me at her dance class," he recalled. While it's easy to imagine how his presence could stir up excitement, it's equally easy to understand why Ava might have wanted her father to stay in the background, at least when it came to dance. Today, Ava continues to lead a low-key life. Despite her father's fame, she keeps out of the spotlight, focusing on her interests and studies. Now living with her family in New York City, Ava enjoys the balance of a supportive family while being allowed her own space away from public attention. Hugh and Deb remain protective of their daughter's privacy, only sharing occasional glimpses of what she's up to as she grows into adulthood. As for what lies ahead for Ava, the future remains open, just like her dance steps, a graceful movement toward whatever path she chooses to take. This brings us to the end. What interests you most about the family, which is so diverse in background but very united and loved by the adopted parents? Let's interact in the comment section. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.